Welcome back to Franchise Hockey Manager 12 with the Boston Bruins rebuild. We now get ready to start our 4th season in charge of the Boston Bruins, and it's safe to say that we are starting to pick up some steam. We managed to do pretty well in the preseason. I know it's just preseason, but it is a pretty decent indication of how well we could be. Hoggins and Pasternak leading the league in points, and we did pretty well. Our strengths are basically everything except for lefty, but we're kind of addressing that as we speak. So we'll take a look at the draft and how will we end up doing, and just kind of see what kind of deals we end up getting. I thought we did pretty good based on the fact that we had limited amount of picks, but our first pick, Franz Karjalati, wow, that's a mouthful. I mean, looks pretty good. 18-year-old left winger, has good physicals. Offensive rating's pretty good. Defensive rating's not bad either. It's his mental that's not quite there. But as you can see, he can play pretty much any position that we need to, or any kind of role that we need to. And he was projected to be 4th overall. So we didn't even need a first-round pick this year to get this guy. So the fact that we managed to get him in the 2nd round when he was projected to be a 4th-round pick, I will take that every single day. Gabriel Lundqvist. I'm doing pretty good with these names, dear God. Or Lindquist. We ended up getting him for Lindholm, 3rd-round pick. He was projected to be 12th overall. We got him in the 3rd round at 82. I mean, determination and professionalism are there, and all we need to focus on is his goalie attributes, really. His mentals should probably end up getting there. We don't really need him to be a team player. If his stamina can improve, that should be good, but 18 years old and potential first-round pick. I know these are all skewed, but the fact that we managed to get him with the 3rd-round pick is also something that I've been salivating on. And then here is Simon Sisak. I've gotten him in almost every single franchise hockey manager. And I mean, to start off this season, he's already got 8 points in 8 games. So look at his profile. Physicals, just, yeah, off the chart physicals. That alone will make it so that he's good enough in the NHL. And then his offensive rating's pretty good. Shooting accuracy and getting open is pretty good. Positioning, checking's not that bad. Obviously, he's not going to do faceoffs because he's a right winger. Shot blocking, obviously, I'd want a little bit higher, but even his mental's not too bad. Not too bad for an 18-year-old. Obviously, that should improve. Only has him at around 2.5 stars. We got him in the 5th round, a little bit late, but around what they evaluated. But I think he's going to actually be pretty good. And then we end up getting Samuel Stromberg, I guess it would be. He's playing the NCAA right now. And physicals look okay. We'll go back to that. Accidentally right-clicked. Physicals look okay. Face-offs look decent, so he's probably going to be more centering around a center than a left wing. He did have 46 points in 53 games last season, so not too bad. Dear God, I keep clicking it. And, I mean, shooting accuracy is not that bad. So, like, there's a lot of green, and for a late pick, 6th round, not bad. Wasn't projected to be drafted at all, so obviously we took a chance on that. And we got Jacob Gustafsson with our last pick there. Another goalie. I wouldn't mind having depth. He sports a .932 save percentage, but I think that's last year. Only played 2 games though. .966 the year before. .882 obviously when he was 15 though. But determination, stamina's pretty good, and his reflexes are good. Professionalism's there as well. Again, these are kind of the picks that you end up taking a chance at, and I will take a chance every single time at a 6'3", 223 pound guy. So all in all, I don't mind that at all. We'll look at our transaction log here. We'll go with let's go with signings first. We're going to probably have to go to the other one. Somehow we got Alex Wong. I don't know how. He's going to unfortunately start in the AHL this season, so hopefully he can kind of develop just a little bit. It's going to be his first season. He's only 21, but I did claim a player off waivers, which is also one of the reasons why that ended up happening. We got Will Sharp as well. Most of you know that I've grabbed him in almost every single one as well. 21 years old, lefty. Obviously, we need to address lefties. And yeah, he's playing the AHL as of right now. But again, he's just going to end up developing 2.5 stars, not bad. Worst comes to worst, we trade him. I mean, we did pick Quinn Olsen. I mean, it's kind of a shot in the dark, but we did need to bring up the cap, so we did pay him around $5 million. If you look at the cap obligations, you'll end up seeing that as well. So we'll look at trades, though. We ended up trading Nelson and Martin for a fourth and a third because they weren't going to play for us anyways. So we'll just double check to make sure that we didn't do anything. That was a Kako one, so that was before. And we'll look at the signings just to make sure. Yeah, we got Sasha Boumedienne, but we ended up making a trade for him beforehand. So not bad at all. And we'll end up looking at our cap here, looking for the seasons in the future. So obviously Olsen probably won't play for us next season. Same thing with Edmonds. We probably will move away from him. The fact that he can play left and right is pretty good, but it does look relatively healthy. Voronkov might be a casualty next year. Same thing with Kako. I could easily see both these guys moving on next year. Musty has one more year at not having to pay too much for him. Poitras gets an extension for just over $4.5 million. And then Thompson's now coming out as a rookie. Only 3 stars, though. Should expect more from that. And then McKenna only wanted 2 years, $4.5 million. So we end up obliging to that. But unfortunately, yeah, William Moore and Rubrick and Thompson will all ask for contracts at the same time as Denoyer as well. And I think our defense is going to be a little bit screwed over the next little while. So we'll have to kind of, Drysdale probably won't stay with us after this season. After next season, we'll probably end up having to move on from him. Same thing with, maybe even McAvoy. McAvoy's contract could be a bit too much. We did just get this guy off waivers. All in all, not that bad. He didn't grade that well, 58 last year, but that can always change. We're going to have to kind of reevaluate things next year. Yeah, obviously Spooner and Bocage, we probably won't end up signing next year. And then Erlinden, we could extend this year, but it doesn't look like he's going to amount to that much. Goalies are short up for a little while, but Lindbaum is getting a little bit of a extension there. $2.5 million pay raise. I don't know if I like that. Yeah, but Dupont, basically most of our defenders are going to get extensions at the same time. So these 3 for sure. And then obviously we have the ones that are in the AHL. So Huang, Sharp, even Smith, we could end up having extensions. Chandler's going to probably end up staying with us as well. And then Hudson, at least that won't be too expensive if he only plays 1 season up there. So we'll look at trading update. Okay, so Villeneuve improved his speed. That's good. Season preview. So we are apparently Stanley Cup favorites this season. That is fantastic. That's fantastic to hear. So hopefully Philly doesn't end up getting a three-peat, and I'll be extremely happy with that. Montreal's number 2, and then Carolina's number 3. Nashville standing out as a possible challenger. And then once again, Pasternak's scoring race. Connor McDavid. Oh no, I thought he was going to be injured. Unfortunately, he's not. Pasternak should be in the scoring race with Draisaitl as well. Nothing to note here. Pretty much all what you would expect. No new gens here. Wolf, Aiden Hill, and Hellebuck. So not much you should really expect from that. But we'll play a couple games here. We'll kind of see how the lay of the land is and see what this season looks like for us. Obviously, if we're expected to win, I expect that to continue. Harmony's still been an issue, and I'll be honest, one of the most annoying issues. Okay, fantastic. Off-season training updates. So now it ends up showing everything. So most of the players that we end up expanding on did do well. So physical ratings for Dupont end up increasing. Erlinden, I didn't end up changing that at all. Rubrick was also one of those, but I didn't do bravery or aggression. So I'm surprised those are the ones that end up getting it. Cole Hudson, aggression, defensive read, temperament, and determination for Cole Chandler. So I don't think a lot of these players I ended up assigning this. I don't think I did face-offs for Quentin Musty. He's more of a left winger. Still face-offs only 13. Kind of sad there. Kako wants to change his jersey number. It looks like we're going to be off to the races here. We'll just do the AI setup organization. See what we like here. Olsen's going to play on the fourth line. Kako as well. So that's not a bad fourth line. Thompson, he's not going to necessarily develop that well on that line. Lorley and Bium, and then Boumedienne and Dupont. So we'll end up having to... We'll have to look at that a little bit in the future. Let's see if this ends up working for us. I do like the top two lines. That's kind of what we've been doing with for the past 2 years. And let's just see if we can actually start the season off in the right mood here. 3-2 win here. Not too bad. Thompson gets a goal here. Musty gets his first as well. Voronkov gets his first. Not who you would expect. We'll look at a little bit of the stats here to kind of give a little bit more, I guess, exposure here. Lorley's defensive grade is pretty good. 87 in this game. Villeneuve with 86. 99 for McAvoy. So I take back what I said about him maybe being a casualty. Yeah, he already started the season off as 99. Obviously, I only said that based on contract. Rubric is hurt. Surprised we didn't lose that game. Oh my god. Out for 2 months. Alright. 2 injury list. Alright, let's see. Let's see who comes up for that. Lines look like... Okay, Edmonds is... Oh, I wish I had another... See, this is where I regret not signing. Oh... I elected not to sign, I'm trying to remember his name. I'll show you guys in a second, our depth chart. That is so annoying. Request wants us to acquire a local player. That's not going to happen. Yeah, we didn't grab Malcolm Spence for this exact reason. We let him kind of marinate so we don't end up having to pay too much in terms of extensions. Yeah, and then Jonah we obviously didn't take, or Gonguan. So... These are the players that we're going to probably end up signing next year. Yeah, hopefully this doesn't end up hurting our chances at doing well this season. But first win out of the way. All right, let's see here. Ilya Nabokov. Seriously. Honestly, yeah, I don't see that. That was a dumb one. That's pretty dumb. Alright, we'll adjust it again here. Hopefully they... Yeah, Voronkov's now a left winger. Okay, that makes sense. And then Musty on the third line. Musty's going to probably stay as a third liner for us. We went 5-2 there against a champion potential team. Lorley with his first, Voronkov with his second, Edmonds with his first, and then Kako and Pasternak scored their first. Now we face off against Buffalo, and Buffalo is 1-0 so far. Should be expected to change. We did win that one at home as well. We do face Buffalo and then Carolina after. So hopefully nothing to change here. 2-0, so 3 wins in a row. McKenna gets his first finally, and then Poitras gets his first as well. Oh, we only won 2-0. I thought we won more than that. So I like how this is going. 3-0 so far. And I mean, no other team has this record yet. I think Seattle could end up getting in, Nashville, and Chicago could as well. But most teams have lost already. So that is positive. 6 points in the East. New Jersey also also lost as well. And we finally get our first loss. 5-2 the other way. Pasternak with his second and third. And not what you'd expect. Most of these players aren't very good. Cody Glass, William Carrier. Cody Glass is actually 3.5 stars. Yeah, he doesn't do that in real life, though. Dear God, I had high hopes for him a long time ago, but yeah, unfortunately, he didn't quite pan out. So I'm surprised in the game it has him at 3.5 stars. So Carolina lost. That's our first one. Now we have back-to-back against Tampa and New York. We're on the road. Seems like a weird 2 games on the road. Tampa and New York. I don't know. I don't like that at all. So first game here, let's go with what works. 8-1 loss. My God. Pasternak with the only goal. And we need to turn things around. That's 2 losses in a row, but this one being humiliating. Pasternak in the talks for goal scoring. We'll change up. Lindblom's going to get his debut against Rangers. And we lose 5-2 as well. This is not what we were expecting. Poitras with a goal, and then Hoggins with his first. Hoggins finally scoring, though. We're 3-3. Not ideal, but I mean, the Atlantic's still very much so up for grabs. So hopefully this doesn't really affect us that much. I mean, Tampa's not a terrible team. New York is 500 right now. Oh, interesting. None of these matter. I remember when I first started, you just kept seeing so many records being broken because the database was just getting introduced, I guess. Now we face off against Ottawa. 5-3. Dear God. Let's shore up the defense, guys. Hoggins with his second, Villeneuve with his first, and Bocage scores as well. Yeah, we're not doing that great defensively. Villeneuve 41, Alex Huang 41 as well. Musty 33 defensive rating. Dear God. Yeah, 5-3, not ideal here. I don't even think we have our first round pick either this year. Like I said, it's still 6 points. 1 win can put us into third. So I'm not sweating it now, but that rubric injury really cost us for sure. We now face off against Panthers, which Panthers are ahead of us, so we could easily jump a couple spots there. And then we end up facing off against Columbus as well. So we'll change things up. Obviously, what just happened did not work for us. 5-3 there. I think a lot of them were on the road there. McAvoy gets on the score sheet finally. Edmonds and Lorley. And then McQueen and Musty getting goals as well. McQueen scoring his first. That's kind of sad. Does bump us up to 4th spot. So now we're 500. And facing off against Columbus, who Columbus is basically a 500 team as well. But everything seems very close. We face Calgary after this. We're just hoping that we can keep the momentum going. 2-1 regulation, so they don't get a point. McKenna and Thompson end up scoring there as well. So, yeah, defensively, yeah, McAvoy killing it. Beam ended up getting a 68 grade, but defensively was pretty good. Excuse me, sorry. I don't know why I ended up sneezing there that much. Bocage actually doing decent defensively as well. So maybe he's a bit of a sleeper. He is graded only 56, but that was his one game that he actually did well. Oh, dear God, okay. Why are they all highlighting green now? So we can only intervene on that one. Okay. Alright, so at least something's gone. So now we're just quiet to hostility. So I'm in the lead with 5 wins, though. So, yeah, I guess we don't want to see everything else, but 5 wins, not the worst thing. Most teams don't even have 5 wins, but I think we've played more than all of them. We do face off against Calgary, and the injuries are starting to pile up now. Villeneuve can still probably play this one here. We get a couple days after that. 4-3 win against Calgary in regulation as well. McAvoy, Hoggins with 2, and then Bocage with the shorthanded one to seal the deal. Dear God. That's what ended up making us win. We did give up 1 at the end, but still. It does bump us up to 3rd, but with 10 games. So, yeah, we immediately get bumped down to 4th. Still pretty decent. I mean, the Atlantic is much more competitive than the Metropolitan. Yeah, 9 points in the Atlantic is good enough to be in 4th spot in the Metropolitan. Dear God. So yeah, it's going to be a very competitive division for sure. But that just means that most of the players in our division are probably going to be the ones that get bumped up. So we'll look at the depth chart here. Yeah, we only have a second, a third, a fourth, or 2 fourths, and a 6th and a 7th. Next year we have our first back. So like I said, we might end up trading away to get some picks at some point, because if some players aren't going to play, like even Chenier might not end up playing for us. So best to just get rid of those players anyways for teams that might actually be able to play with them. Face off against LA here, 4-2 win. Pasternak with his 5th and 6th, and then Hoggins with his 5th and 6th. So not too bad there. McAvoy now hurt, so our heart of our defense is 2 to 3 weeks. Okay. I don't think we can afford it. Okay, we can afford it. Might give youngsters some opportunity here, so I don't mind that at all. Why would you delay it? It's only 1 to 2 weeks. So far I haven't seen any setbacks for injuries, so that's always positive. Swayman up to 7 wins here. We find ourselves in second place here in the Atlantic. It's shifted so much since the beginning of the season, but look at all the points. My God, that is going to be a competitive division for sure. Villeneuve on the edge of returning. Development. So Bume improving as well. Stamina, not bad. Yeah, like I said, we'll see how he does this season, and then we'll offload him if we have to. Hoggins hitting is increased. Rubric, somehow his bravery is increased. It's only 2 to 3 weeks out. We're eagerly anticipating that. Bruised toe. And then Jonah's improving. I don't get the bravery thing. We don't want you to get fighting, so Bortlick still not what I would expect. I wonder what the actual age is for goalies to actually develop. So far, Lindquist is the top prospect, but that's not really saying much since everyone's like half a star. But not bad there. And then all these players are in our AHL. So like I said, even someone like well, I guess Smith isn't, but even someone like Kersey, who's probably not going to play for us, might as well just trade this guy. Von Richter as well. Chris Farreau might not end up playing for us, so we'll get picks for these guys. Probably sooner rather than later, because we don't really need them just hanging around down there. Same thing with these guys as well. Yeah, ECHL. Oh yeah, we just signed him actually. We signed him from the draft. So obviously we'll end up doing something with that. But we'll probably play one more game. We'll play against Nashville. They're at the top of the Central. Let's see what ends up happening here. If we can somehow bump ourselves up to the top, that'd be fantastic. So we'll kind of see where we lie against a team like Nashville. And we'll jump next episode to the trade deadline, and we might end up only doing half of that. And then if we end up making it to the playoffs, we might just do an episode just for the playoffs. Owner confidence. Fans aren't thrilled. Yeah, whatever. Click breaks up. That's fantastic. Oh my God, that a new one forms. See, what's the point? This is so... I hate the clicks. The clicks are so dumb. Like, I get it that it happens in the NHL, and now I can't intervene. Still can't intervene with anything. But, like, why intentionally disrupt harmony when you don't need to? I understand it's an element of the game, but sometimes it's not necessary. Like, it's not necessary for it to always happen. And it happens after, like, season 1, I find. So once you have players that have played a little bit too long together, then it starts to happen. Yeah, dear God, Atlantic. A losing streak puts you at the bottom. So Panthers could easily find their way bumped up. Yeah, Lorley injured. See how we do without McAvoy. 5-3 loss. That's what I was expecting. Dupont gets his first. And then Brady Martin. Didn't we trade that guy? Kako and Villeneuve end up scoring, but unfortunately wasn't meant to be. We'll look at how well our team's doing so far. And Pasternak with 13 points in 12 games, Hoggins with 9, Villeneuve with 8, McKenna, Poitras with 7, and then Dupont and McQueen with 6 as well. Grade-wise, Pasternak leading the way. McKenna with 74, though. That is a bright spot. Dupont and McQueen and Voronkov with 69. 68 for Hoggins, and then 67 for Boumedienne. But again, a lot of these players are rookies or pretty young, so this might end up being a learning curve as well. Yeah, see that one loss end up bumping us down to 5th. But ultimately, I think that we can end up doing something with this team. Sky's the limit here. 7-5-0 after 12 games is not the worst thing. Obviously, the more cohesion that we end up having, and once we end up getting some of our injured players back, I do think that we're going to be able to start moving the way that we started the season. So hopefully you guys like this. Leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more, and thank you for watching. Until next time.